It is showtime. You do know we're on live right now.
Yes, I know.
That's good lemonade. So, anyway, hello everybody, and welcome to another Godzilla podcast episode. And I'm here with my kaiju brother and podcast partner, GojiFan1998. Hey, this is your first return since Mothra vs. Godzilla.
Hello, everyone, and yes, it's good to be back here just for a little while. And I'm always here for ALP if he needs my backup.
That's right, and I'm glad that we finally get to meet in person at G-Fest. It's actually been a month since we first met at G-Fest.
Yes, it is. It's been a month.
Yep, and today we will be talking about one of my favorite Godzilla films of all time from the Shona era is Ebirah, Horror of the Deep from 1966. And many of us know that this film wasn't actually going to be a Godzilla film. It was more meant to be a Kong film.
Yes. Who can never forget that?
Yeah, and it's all because of Rick and Bass, the same company who did the stop motion Christmas specials like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and other stuff.
And they do the anime with the Frosty and the Snowman and make the King Kong show for the anime television show for kids.
Yeah, that's right. And you know that this film was almost based off the King Kong show. They
Yes,
almost did.
as in when Rick and Bass wanted asked Toho to make something closely resemble the show. Since they still have King Kong's license before it expired in the following year, 1967.
That's right. And so anyway, so let us talk about how do we discover this film and how we watched it for the first time. Let's start with you, buddy.
Alright, this gets me my jam. Anyway, when I first heard about this movie, when I was a baby after I was born, my grandmother got me into become a Godzilla fan when she put it on VHS tape of Godzilla vs. Sea Monster. That was the US title for Ebirah, Horror of the Deep.
Yeah, it's like I have never seen the original English television English dub version of it in my whole life. It's what I grown up watching was the international English dub version that TriStar released it on DVD back in 2004.
And then it later released by Kraken Release.
Yep, and also I've grown up watching that English dub version, and how do I discover this film? I mean, the first time I got it it was from Santa Claus. They got me for Christmas back in 2006. I think it was 2006 or 2005. I think it was 2005. It is.
Well, it depends on if your memory came back to you.
Yep. As far as I can remember, I mean, I didn't watch it much back then, but as a year later or 2 years passed, I mean, I've started to watch that film more and then trying to give it a try. I mean, and the more I watch it, I completely in love with this film, and I this is one of my favorite Godzilla films of all time. I mean, because of Godzilla finding a giant lobster and monsters in it, and it took place not in the city, but on a tropical island.
Yes, as the first Godzilla movie to set up on the island.
Yeah, I mean, there's no building setups. I mean, there's no people scrambling, running for their lives. No, it was.
Well, I guess that it depends on for a budget. For they couldn't afford to build a miniature set like that anymore for a while.
Yeah, and I mean, I've grown up watching this movie for years, and I couldn't stop watching. I mean, I remember the more I watched this, I always watched this film on every weekend after school. I mean, the weekends like Saturday and Sunday. I always sometimes I watched it during my days off, and when I was busy, like drawings, like all my drawings behind me, and
Hmm.
I couldn't stop watching it. I mean, it's because it's just is I'm like a huge fan of this one.
Yeah, I know that feels.
Yep. And also what I loved about it, I mean, I know other Godzilla films like that I watch, I don't usually focus on the human characters. I usually focus on the monsters. But this one, I kind of actually both focusing on the monsters and the human characters.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, but I just like the human characters in this one.
Well, this all depends on whatever people's his opinion.
Yeah. And and also what uh, like right at a year I don't know which year the television English dub was released. I mean, it was not going to release in theaters, but just go directly on television.
And did you know that original English dub was done by the same company who got disturbing rights to Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster in the U.S. release?
Oh yeah, that. And I did not notice that. And it was also the same company who also did the television English dub for Son of Godzilla.
That's correct.
Yep. I mean, I mean there are a few cuts in the television version. I mean, the opening credit titles, I mean, are slightly different than the television and the international English dub version. I mean, they're both the same title. It's Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, and and also is for the international dub version, it only shows the full credits, and but in the television version, they only show the title.
Yeah, this is why we compare the difference between both the uncut version and the U.S. cut version from television and stuff.
Right. And what like when you watch it on VHS, I mean, was it when you watch it that was by Video Treasures?
No, Good Times Home Entertainment.
Like, and I was gonna say I thought you discovered this film by Video Treasures. I mean, it's the
No,
same. I
just
mean,
on Good Times Home Entertainment. The ones they also got for King Kong vs. Godzilla on VHS as well.
and so yeah, so let's get down to the plot. I mean, like Toho Company, like they want to have Kong to be in this film, because of this, but Kong was taken out of the script. And I mean, what would it be like if Kong really did fight Ebirah?
Well, I might have to say that Kong will have to be a declare victory when he's fighting a giant shrimp.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that, but the company said that Ebirah was supposed to be a giant mutated shrimp.
And
But
and I'll tell you about the title that the original idea was meant to be called before it was actually replacing was Kong to Godzilla in the last minute. The original plot in the film was only called Operation Robinson Crusoe King Kong vs. Ebirah that was written by Shinichi Sasagawa.
that's correct.
But when they presented it to Reikenback's production during its production, when they read it and they didn't like it because it's not followed the show correctly, so they want Ishiro Honda and Eiji Suevaya to work this project, but Honda was too busy with the other thing, and Tsuburaya was busy with his own company, Tsuburaya Production. But they wanted Jun Fukuda to hand the direct it, but Rankin Bass was unable to change their mind, so they let the production and took King Kong character away.
Yeah, that's and 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 this is like the first Godzilla film that was not directed by Ishiro Honda.
And it was directed by Jun Fukuda. That he was a crime drama expert director.
That's right. And the music in this, it was like I just love the music in this film. I don't
And
remember who.
it was composed by Masaru Sato, who you may not know that he was composed Godzilla Rays Again in 1955. So he brought back.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh, we got someone in common. Gamer Wolf 94 said hi.
Yes. So I just love the music in there. I have the complete soundtrack of it. I mean, I just couldn't stop listening to it. I mean, one of my favorite songs from this is the dance contest scene.
Oh yeah, the dance contest having sure endures today's view.
I just love the music part of that scene. I remember when after I bought the soundtrack, I've been dying to dance to that song. Like every time I listen to it on my iPhone, I just jam it along with the theme.
Hey, that can include me too. And that music was part for the dance contest for whoever wins for the yachts for only whoever wins to survive a dance.
Yeah, because the Yatta was trying to find his long lost brother.
It's Rota was looking for his brother
Oh
Yatta.
wait, Rota. I mean Yatta, not Yatta. I mean it's just
And
no. It's,
in off screen, Yatta was missing in the South Sea, so his brother Rota, believing that an old woman said that Yatta was still alive, and nobody believed Rota. They think that he was a joke or even thing.
yeah.
Like in English, dub for international said, "I know my brother's alive. Please send another boat out."
Go ask somebody who has a boat.
And you don't believe me when I say, "You better let me see the chief of police right now."
I can't do that. And also, that scene of the police station was cut in the TV dub version.
Yeah, this is why we have to know the comparison difference between the uncut and whatever when the US chops some scene down for limited screen time for television or depends on whenever you're writing the script for dubbing.
Yeah, and is I mean the TV dub has a few cut scenes in that version. I mean, I like the dance scene when the two guys were dancing. I mean, they're just exhausted. What they said on TV that it goes on for 3 days. I
Yes,
mean,
that's correct. They had to, if you're going to be in a dance earlier, about 3 days earlier, depends on how many dancers left. There was like 300 dancers.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to I'm trying to get this straight of that scene. I mean, I don't know if these guys talk about it. They're when they're dancing for 3 days. I mean, do they have to dance through all night too? I'm just I
Hmm.
just don't know.
Well, I guess this depends on whatever your thoughts about it. Maybe it could be days or maybe both.
Yeah,
Besides, if you do dance at night, I don't think you can survive that much like this.
yeah. And believe me, I mean, I've been through a lot of dances with my girlfriend, and I used to be a great dancer back then, but nowadays, as I'm older now, I mean, I'm starting to dance less good now.
Well, it's all we have depends on we get it right or so.
Yeah, and there goes our boat.
Too bad. I thought we have a lot more endurance in this.
Yes.
I have too much confidence.
Hey, what do we do now?
And yeah, that's one thing about in dubbing for Nita's that his dubber was actually done by high pitched voice.
Yeah, like I mean, the voice English voice dubbing for that part, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Ron Stoppable from the Disney Channel show Kim Possible.
How you could compare it for that?
I don't know. It just kind of reminds me.
Hmm. You have a good point.
I don't know if you watch the film again, picture in your head. Imagine if that was Ron Stoppable talking.
And even Brendan Tindall's this is a review about it sounds like one of a character from Thundercats. Well, according to Brandon, this is his own review of movie of the sea monster.
Yeah, like, and also Rota that just shows up a few days late. I mean, and they both like decided to just go to the pier to check out all boats, and I think one of them said they were prepared to steal one. I mean, or just check them out. I don't know. It's like
Even Nita said, "Man, he's sure funny."
and I wonder what the owner looks like.
Well, I'll show you what he looks like.
Yeah, and that
And
was
this is where we get to introduce Akira Takarada's character, Yoshimura, that he claims he's an owner until later he revealed he's a bank robber.
yeah, and this is Airtaka's last Godzilla Shona film.
Yeah, until he makes comeback until the Heisei film Godzilla vs. Mothra in 1992, then Godzilla Final Wars.
Yeah, like I also love the scene when they both discover just Yoshimura and it's and he's like okay of them just stay for the night, but they had to disappear, and then like this boy from a country just came to see boats. He's a maniac.
Of course. Even if you're all maniacs, you're still trespassing into private property. Hmm?
We're sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, when they woke up in the morning, Yoshimura first woke up and noticed his gun was missing, and woke up the guys and hit him with a pillow. Like, get up, come on! Wait! Wait! And he
also,
asked Nita, wonder, where's my rifle? Where is it?
I was like, rifle? I don't know.
Why, you bummed? Then Rota showed that the rifle that was actually a toy that is broke. By Rota, then he said it broke it when he was playing with it, and it broke it on his hand.
Yeah, I mean, it was a toy gun. I mean, I was like, are you kidding me? So he doesn't have a real gun this whole time.
And if it was a toy, how do you break that thing, Rota?
Yeah, I mean,
but after that, Yoshimura was mad, like, why you? Then throw that tray and tell the others get out.
Yeah, and also I like to see when they before that scene, I like the way they both all say, "Good night, sir." Idiots, don't shout.
And while the TV dub version then said that Yoshimura said, "Quiet, you idiots."
Yeah, if it was like I have to say that, I bet like I picture in my head, and then he would after they say good night, he would say, and he points the gun at that. I bet the guys will be like,
yeah,
that would be so hilarious if they do that scene.
well, if only.
Yeah, and then and then they go and then they sail out to sea because the Rota because it was say thought this was the gift of the gods.
Oh yeah, and then the argument was, you better. Well, the where Yoshimura's character trying to tell him to go back.
But he can't do that.
And even he said, "You better do it, or you will real sorry."
Like because he does it because he really wants to search for his brother.
Yeah.
And then there's this one scene when they're eating like food in the scene when Rota is showed them a little piece of the newspaper saying 27 fish have been lost in the South Seas. I mean that part was cut in the TV version.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Yoshimura like created this skeleton key. It's just, I mean, it doesn't look like a key at all. To me, it kind of looks like a tiny screwdriver, very skinny.
That's what I thought about that too. Even Nita said, What's that thing you're making?"
Skeleton key.
A skeleton key?
Hey, you have your hobbies and I have mine. So let's all go back and enjoy
them. Then you are that burglar we heard about.
Do I look like a burglar? Huh?
A toy rifle, skeleton key, briefcase. You sure do looking.
and then later they come into a big storm. It's like a hurricane, and then and 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 then one of the sailors just breaks, and then it broke the steering wheel, and the or they call it the helmet, or
The helm.
the helm's
Well,
been broken.
we'll have to call it a boat steering wheel.
Yeah, I couldn't pronounce it, and then they found the Ebirah's giant claw.
Meow,
Yeah,
meow, 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 meow.
yeah, and that music in that scene is kind of gives it more like a James Bond theme to it, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
like Cinemassacre said. And doesn't that music kind of sound like James Bond?
Yeah, it kind of doesn't. Yeah, and I know that scene is like a hurricane scene. I mean, when I watch this scene, it kind of reminds me of that another hurricane scene from The Little Mermaid. You know, when Prince Eric's ship was on fire during the hurricane, that thunderstorm, and then Princess Ariel saves him. It kind of reminds me of that scene a little bit.
Hmm. And anyway, after when the Everlast Claw destroyed the boat, and our heroes win in the island. And by the morning,
Sorry. Yeah, but they both survive, and then they land on the island. And I was wondering, how did they survive after that hurricane with Ebirah's claw?
hmm, that's a still a mystery.
It- Were you gonna say something?
I said it's still a mystery.
Yeah, and yeah, I was like, there's no way they could survive, and then
Or maybe they just swam away after they get off a boat.
yeah, and then they starting to look for something to eat, and they bananas, coconuts, and oranges, and
Well, before they were planning to have eat, they were having an argument for a little while until Nita said, "But I'm hungry."
oh, we're all hungry. Let's go.
And while they're climbing up the cliff without falling over, until Nita spot the sword right of it up the hill.
Cannibals!
Yeah,
I always love that English dub voice impression of that.
yeah. And
Uh,
there, our heroes eat some fruits on the tree. They decide to look around, see what's going on. As Yoshimura believe it is not abandoned.
yeah, and also we forgot to mention that they were gonna film this in one of the Philippines, but they decided to film it on one of their Japanese islands. That's what I heard.
Where did you first heard about that?
I don't know. I did some research of where they filmed that.
Hmm. You know what? I think I suggest you need to keep more research on that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been so curious which island did they film this? I mean, they should have filmed this in Hawaii.
Well, if Rick and Beth should have stayed without complaining in the script. What do you
Eh,
think?
Hmm. Yeah, imagine if they filmed a Godzilla film in Hawaii. That would be awesome. Except
Until
for the MonsterVerse 2014 one.
yeah. Anyway, when our hero comes to notice there was a boat that sprayed yellow stuff in the ocean.
Yeah, that was actually a yellow liquid. They said. And
Yeah. Until they soon learned they were that island they're in is armed for terrorist organization called the Ram Bamboo.
yeah, I mean, and I was getting to that. I mean, in the television dub version, they just call them the soldiers.
Yeah. Well,
I was
because I believe that Delbert might be having trouble how to pronounce the name for these guys, so they just thought, let's just do with the soldier's name only.
yeah, and then and the red bamboo, they're kind of like the terrorists to the natives on Infant Island,
Yes, they kidnapped us, all the islanders and to become slaves to force them to work.
and they kidnapped the most beautiful native on Infant Island, Dio, played by Kamimi Mizuno.
And I do understand there was original actress was meant to play that character as ALP will know who was the original actress is.
Yeah, Kumimi Mizuno wasn't the original cast for because the original Dio got sick on set. I mean, uh, but so they replaced her with Kumimi Mizuno. Like,
And I know about the facts about the original actress that she was made a small cameo appearance in Frankenstein vs. Baragon as one of a dancer before Baragon attacked the village.
like I still haven't seen that film. I got to give that film a try.
Well, if you want to find it, you have to go on Amazon and buy it on DVD as long as you're going to click new.
Yep, and also I got to mention when I watched this film for the first time, and I mean I'm gonna be honest, when I was a kid watching this for the first time, I kind of had a crush on Dio.
This is what we call celebrity crutches, but it's not going to hurt about anything as long as you just have to keep it to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it was really back then when I watched this film for the first time. I mean, and so
Anyway, we introduce the Red Bamboo Guard Commander that was played by Akihiko Harada, and he's playing another character with the eye patch.
yeah, he played it's he played Dr. Sarasawa in the original Godzilla.
And a little fun fact about his eye patch in this one, Ebirah Horror Deep, it has a dragon on the eye patch.
Yeah, because in the original Godzilla, there's no dragon attached to the eye patch.
Just plain, like if you order plain sandwich.
Yeah.
And in the TV version, that his character that he was playing, that it was called Commander Yamato. Well, in an international dub, he was only called Guard Commander.
Yeah, like, you call me sir?
Have you gone blind?
Sir?
Anyway, the other commander was played by Jun Tosaki, who was previously portrayed Dr. Sakurai from the last movie, Invasion of Astro Monster.
Yeah, he plays in other films too, like a King Kong versus Godzilla and Mothra versus Godzilla.
Yeah. And he also made one last Godzilla film appearance in Destroy All Monsters before he passed away in 1985.
Anyway, like, so the other two natives escape from the island, and then Ebirah just shows up in full form.
Yeah. And one of the natives was played by same guy who plays King Kong in King Kong vs. Godzilla. Shionshu Hirose made small appearances.
Oh, like you mean one of the natives escaped? I did not know that.
Yes, I took a lot of research, man.
Yeah, then and also when they like for Ebirah, I mean, when they show his full form, I mean, we thought we never got to see the monster until somewhere in the middle of the film, but no, we get a full review.
Yeah, like in Ichino said, "Look, the giant claw."
Yeah. I don't know if we mentioned this in the beginning of the episode. I mean, they said that Ebirah is a giant mutated shrimp.
Yeah, because the word of area was means in Japanese for shrimp, as I heard.
Yeah, I mean,
Even a lot of people are complaining, thinking it's a lobster, but it's not. It look like a lobster, but it looks a hybrid between shrimp and a lobster.
yeah, I mean, to me, I stick with lobster.
Well, you cannot go to Resistor if you eat lobster dinner.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta try lobster someday.
Well, you and me both, man.
Hey, and also when Ebirah first attacked the escaped natives, I mean, when they were swimming, I mean, there's some camera angles of the of Ebirah's porky claw when they
right after grab those two guys and going to eat them, like, human claw.
Yeah, and right before Ebirah just grabs him, I mean, a really quick shot of this of the angle. I mean, they use like animatronic dolls.
Oh yeah, it was a dummy, like a miniature version of a dummy.
Yeah, I mean, they only did a quick shot of that scene. I mean, for like a second.
And also before Ebirah attacked that boat, there was a puppet was doing there was a dummy doing on that boat. If you notice the arm was moving, it was operating with the wire.
Oh, like,
Because they couldn't get into it with a human shot, only just when Ebirah was before he's going to attack.
oh, you mean like when the natives like jump out of the boat?
No, they were trying to get back. Well, trying
Oh,
to turn around.
ah, and also I like the zoom in shot of like when Ebra caught the natives, and then it shows the inside of Ebra's mouth. It looks so gross and creepy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
totally
and
agree.
anyway, like so, like Dio escapes into the jungle, and they ran into the guys, and she actually thought they're like the ones from they actually thought they were the ones that captured the natives,
But
but
when Yoshimura talked to her by, we're not with those men on the boat.
yeah, and I was yeah, and like I said before, I'm just a huge fan of Kumimi Mizuno's character. I mean, but I like the part when I know some people like when they talk to native people. I mean, don't know understand English and like native people. I mean, I like when uh, Nita like is just said like this like you and we are friends. Kind of like what just like in other movies, like like me want I'm friend. Like just like in one of those films, but they but they put that like in the Godzilla film. But
I
then
totally
you
agree.
but she like understand English or in Japanese, and that she understands them. They said they're friends. I like the
Yeah,
way when yeah, I like the way Nina was like like gave a like a shock face because I think he's like amazed by that she understands them.
yeah. And while they were chit chat, and suddenly a search balloon just came out of nowhere, and it's got Ishino attention. Like, oh,
and and it was like and also that scene when they're trying to shoot them. I mean, they always miss. I mean, how could they have missed? Or would they just focus? I mean, just
yeah. Until when our hero reached up to the cliff, leaving Yoshimura got an idea, but there was another ledge when they jump off.
oh yeah. With when I like when I watched that film for the first time, I mean, when they jump off, I felt they really jump into the water, but no, it was just another cliff. It was like,
Yeah, and they were start to slide one turn to another till they found a cave.
yep, they they went in a cave where Godzilla's sleeping.
And I love the reacted when Nita look after he sneezed and he was go like,
I'll go too.
yeah. It was way before we get managed to see Godzilla, where our hero need to discuss what they're going to do.
That's right,
And
and I
Daito revealed to Rota that Yata was on Infant Island and was alive, been there for months ago.
yeah, and also when they get into the cave and when Dio just praying, I mean, it it was just completely silent, and then and the guys were like going like, what the heck is she doing? And
Well, in a TV dub, it was actually there was a talking.
yeah, it was like what? When I watched it for the first time of that version, I was but she was explaining that she was praying for Mothra because Mothra was sleeping and Mothra was sleeping on Infant Island. I don't think they never explained why.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that it and it also tells that Mothra is actually the same Mothra that was now grown up after Ghidorah the three-headed monster.
Yeah,
by using the same flying puppet from Mothra vs. Godzilla.
yeah. It is the same Mothra, and I also like the part when Dio explains like Mothra was sleeping, but they prayer wished her mind. I'm sure that she'll wake up and help them. Like you'll have to get Mothra an alarm clock or something, huh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. When he
and
said that, I actually did like one of those drum stories, like.
and then in this movie, the Showa Mania came back, but not played by the Peanuts anymore. Anymore, they were played by Parabambi.
Yeah, I mean, too bad they couldn't bring back the peanuts.
Yeah, it's really kind of bummer. But in the
Yeah,
Japanese dub in the film, but they were just talking a little bit low voice, like a low volume, even when the
yeah,
loud music was playing, make it difficult to hear what they're saying.
yeah,
And now, after Infant Island, where our group, our hero, need to figure what they're going to do, is they going to sneak around the base.
yeah,
But
and
after both Ichino and Nita first refused, and then they later changed their mind, and they spot to see a sleeping Godzilla.
yeah, and I was gonna say that how did Godzilla got into that cave after he fought with King Ghidorah in the previous film?
Well, that's a good question. Anyway, this Godzilla suit in this movie, it's actually the same costume from the Invasion of Astro Monster Daisendo Goji suit.
That's right, and
And the one thing noted, while filming in Ebirah Horror of the Deep, the head of the suit was being borrowed to Super Eye Production to create Jiras, and then makes Toho create a retcon version of Daisendo Goji's head to finish filming.
and I was gonna say, I mean, and I know it's the same suit, but did they just like added a new head to the suit?
Well, it's because they made a retcon version of a head so they could finish the filming.
Yeah, and I know, and just like Cinemassacre's Monster Madness said this before, that Godzilla looks like the Cookie Monster.
Yeah, that's because of a Rekka head makes it looks like a cookie monster. While the Rekka head was not perfect recreation, it makes Godzilla suit less calm and fierce looking Godzilla.
Yeah,
And not only did Daisendo Goji suit made an appearance in this movie, the Moso Goji suit also briefly made an appearance in some scene too, including the scene when Godzilla is trying to rise out of the water before getting hit in the head by Ebirah's claw, getting back in the water, according to behind set photo.
yeah, and
While the Moso Goji suit has the original Daisendo Goji's head was attached to the body. If you look closer to both of the previous photo.
yeah, and they reused that suit for some water scene cameos in Son of Godzilla.
Yes, as for the stunt suit right after Ebirah Horror of the Deep.
Yeah, and so the guys like they went to the Rambaboo's territory, and I like the way how they carried the bush and like kind of like gives a little cartoonish style to it.
Yeah, even Nita said, "Hey, let's leave here. It's too risky." But
Like
he knows it's not going to be easy.
yeah, and I was gonna say, how did Dio got that bird?
Well, that's a mystery clue, man. Anyway, after our hero got into the base, Follow Aster used a bird to get the rain bamboo thing. It's just a bird in the bush. We didn't hear anything.
Yeah, it, but every time I see a locked door, I get goose pimples. But all we got is a sword.
We'll find him our brain instead of guns.
uh, I still can't tell you that how much I love this film, and
Yeah, I love that too, since this is my first Godzilla movie I ever got into to become a Godzilla fan, thanks to my late grandmother.
it, like when it, like when they got into the inside. I mean, I like the part when they discover like weird objects in there. Like they thought they were bowling pins, but no, they're gas bombs.
Yeah, like Ichino said, what are those things?
Bowling pins, maybe.
Not until they realize they're smoke bombs.
Yeah, and also I am so curious that Dio just took like a wired string necklace looking, and she's just I feel she's and just put it around her neck. It was like it's like she was like using it for like a real necklace.
Yeah, and I thought about that too. Even
Yeah,
Yoshimura said, Dial, shopping's all over now. Let's go.
yeah. This and that scene kind of gives a little bit of a James Bond mystery to it, or a little bit of Scooby Doo kind of.
Well, I think it could be a combine between Scooby Doo and James Bond. Even this is way before Scooby Doo was created.
Yeah, and also I always laugh at the human characters to this, like, hey, what kind of factory is this? It's me.
Who?
I thought you studied science.
But I wasn't a very good student. But one thing for sure, though, they're not making ordinary merchandise.
Yeah.
But when
Well,
our heroes went to that safe, Yoshimura was tend to open it until Dial sees someone's coming, trying to warn him to get cover. But he just tell him, get away!
yeah, I was like, but
But
then when they,
until he got that safe open, until our hero noticed it's a nuclear reactor.
yeah, it was, it said it was, I think they say they create nuclear bombs.
Yes, as in Ichino said, what a surprise! This is the heavy water factory.
What's heavy water?
It's used to make nuclear bombs.
Oh, let's get out of here!
But either way, when our heroes had to go in to crawl on the floor until Yoshimura saw a boot right in front of him, and then feel it was Akihiko Harada's character.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm gonna go with you on the line.
So you're still alive. Stand up.
All right. I like the way he stands out. He's like I was like, is he giving up? But no, he grabbed one of the smoke bomb and he's just like the way he just throws it at them. Is kind of like he should have said like now, and he just
Yeah.
run off
And then they went outside, and both Nita and Yoshimura were in the white coats, while our heroes were covered in a silver board.
that's
All two
right.
of them. Until then, alarm comes to click in when Yoshimura intended to open the door.
Yeah, and then they both escaped, and well, the one of them was just captured, and then the
Rota
Rota
got,
just
and then
was like caught in
the
the
rope to the search balloon.
yeah.
And then when Nita was wanting to go in and tell Harada's character shoot that string with his gun,
Yeah.
and then some soldier around him go like, "Hold it!" While in the TV dub, Nita's only said, "No, don't shoot!" This is why it's compared different between both the uncut and the TV version from the movie like this.
I mean, the TV dub was okay to me, but I like the international dub version.
Well, my mom
And
likes the TV dub as well. Well, I like both. I like the international better.
yeah, I mean, too bad they didn't put the international dub version in the Criterion Blu-ray version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when some of our character had no option left, as they had to come up with a plan to wake Godzilla up with a lightning.
Yeah, and they actually used Dial's necklace to make a to wire like
A lightning rod.
yeah, and then I don't know if they like attached the string to Godzilla's spine. I don't know. When I watched it, it kind of looks like they kind of attached to it to Godzilla's spine, and just when lightning strikes it. I mean,
Well, when I look closely, it looks to me the wire was right around top of his head.
yeah, I mean, it is on
Connect
the
the
top of
spike. And like we said, this movie was meant to be for Kong's film, but we know that Kong gets stronger electricity in King Kong vs. Godzilla, and then got his heart reset it in Godzilla vs. Kong. We must never
yeah,
forget that.
yeah, that's right. And we all know in King Kong versus Godzilla that Kong was all power up by lightning, and then he just defeats Godzilla. I mean, they say that lightning hurts Godzilla. I mean, but in got but in Ebirah Horde the Deep, when they trying to wake Godzilla with lightning, it actually wakes the monster up.
Yes, as we know that Godzilla was vulnerable to the electricity if he touched the wire.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing I don't get. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like I mean Godzilla is like he gets hurt by electricity from Kong, but not in Ebirah Horde the Deep because lightning strikes the sword and the lightning just strikes him and it makes him strong makes him wake up. I mean, but in the scene when he's attacking the ram bamboos, yeah, it's said. I mean, when he got hit by the power line, it seemed to hurt him a little.
yeah. This is why there's some scene that does not make any sense, even it was meant for Khan's movie.
Yeah, and
And until after they finally manage to get Godzilla to wake up, and when the storm comes in, follow after Rota finally reunite his brother after he landed on Infant Island.
yeah, and and then the fairies gave them the yellow liquid against Ebirah, but the storm comes in and it blows the liquid away.
Well, it blew all the barrels out.
Yeah, and
Like Rota said, the barrels are dripping away!
and then Ebirah appears, and then right after they jump out of the boat, and you can see I think they use like a green screen of them swimming. I mean, when
Oh,
Ebirah is
yeah.
right next to them.
Oh, yeah, it's actually done with a blue screen when the monster's background. Well, you have to run as fast as you can.
Yeah, and then
Until we
Godzilla. Oh,
Then when
you're
Godzilla comes out to the hillside and our character reacted knowing it worked. And then
yep.
he was come face to face with Ebirah for the first time, like, ooh, fresh food. Well, if he may say that.
Yeah, I mean, some of us say like, I mean, before they added Godzilla to the film, like, how is Kong is a match with Ebirah?
Hmm. Let's just say, if that King Kong vs. Ebirah movie should make, Kong might be stay as 45 meters in height, and while Ebirah could be 40 meters in height.
Yeah, I mean, I don't say if Kong is no match for Ebirah. I mean, that's why
Because,
they add.
well, that's because Ebirah will only attacks creature on water.
Yeah, and that's why they added Godzilla to it, and
And then when both Godzilla and Ebirah confront each other, they play volleyball with a rock.
yeah, that's see, and
Until when Ebirah managed to grab the boulder and start to throw it. Then Godzilla's thinking like, all right, that's enough. Then hit the
yeah,
rock and hit the Ram Bamboo Tower.
yeah, and I didn't even notice, but right when the boulder is gonna hit Godzilla's arm, and then I mean, before that, if you look carefully on the edge of the screen there, you can see like I think you can see the roof of the studio.
Oh,
I don't. I mean, it's hard to tell. I think it's because of the fogs and
hmm. Even in some set, there's a wire on the rock when it's flying toward Ebirah, then hit throw back to Godzilla.
yeah, yeah. That's what I discovered. Or there was a wire attached to it.
And after when the tower got hit, then one of the guards said, "Captain, it's terrible, a terrible thing."
What's happened? I report.
And then
Yeah,
they and then both Godzilla and Ebirah began to fight each other on water. When Godzilla first comes in the water, and Ebirah cheating when he splashed Godzilla in water. It will
yeah,
take time whenever you're gonna get used to temperature in water.
yeah. That's yeah. Just like one of those kids who like want to get used to the water because the water's too cold. I mean, I'm kind of like that. I mean, I never tell you this. Even before I discovered Ebirah Horde the Deep or Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. I mean, way before that, what I I what I watched Godzilla versus Ebirah. Like, I mean, in the scene of all monsters attack, that was like my first time of watching that scene. But before I discovered the Ebirah Horde the Deep, I thought. I mean, right after I watched all monsters attack of that part, I mean, I remember taking a vacation in Missouri. I mean, when I was playing in the pool with my family, I remember I used to have a toy T Rex and a little toy lobster thing. I always use those to play in the pool. I pretended it's like Godzilla and Ebirah.
Yeah, but after Godzilla defeats Ebirah in their first round, he goes back to the island after Ebirah retreats, like, "Oh, we'll see you again, you lizard."
Yeah, and also that judo flip when Godzilla lets Ebirah high in the air. I mean, I don't know. I bet you didn't know this, but I think there's something attached to the tail that you couldn't even see. I think it
Yeah.
was I think it was all wires or
Anyway, the monster suit actors in the film was that Godzilla was played by once again was done by Haru Nakajima, and Hiroshi Sakata was portrays Ebirah, who later portrays Gorosaurus in 1967's King Kong Escapes.
yeah, and didn't he play one of the gargantulas in War of the Gargantulas?
That's correct. He plays Sanda, the brown gargantula, took over Shuoshi Hirose's place after he declined the offer.
Ah,
And Sakata also portrays Mechanic Kong in King Kong Escape as well as Double Duty. Well,
mm,
faced against Nakajima in filming.
yep, and
And later, Hiroshi Sakata will later play as Godzilla in Son of Godzilla after Haru Nakajima could not fit the 1967 suit, the Moscow Goji suit, since it's too big for him.
yeah, because it was a different person in who plays Godzilla and Son of Godzilla.
But ALP will get to that episode for later on.
Yep,
Let's get back to Ebirah.
yep, and then they and then the gang they discovered to make more traps for the red bamboo.
Until they heard, but
Yeah,
they actually caught Rota and Yata.
yep, and I like Yata is like his like he's always trying to help people. He's just I feel like he's like in a hurry to go. I I'm Yata. Let's go save some people. Like
Yeah,
he's in a hurry. I mean,
yeah.
it's like
You know,
oh wait a
I,
minute.
I kind of felt that way too. With about the same personality as Yata was. The way I was in a hurry too.
Yeah,
Just
like
like the way before I ran into you when I was hurried to get ready to see all of you guys in GFX.
yeah, that's how I felt too. I'm like in a it's I mean I'm glad you remind me when he was rushing to save people. That's kind of like us. I'm in a hurry to meet you and the others in person. I'm like very excited.
Yeah. And when
Yeah,
our hero went back to the Ram Bamboo, but only say this did until they got caught once again because the Ram Bamboo their hitting microphone.
yeah. Like their microphone, it kind of looks like a watch.
Yeah. And I was like, how could that be a microphone if it looks like a watch?
Yeah, I mean, did they invent it? Did they invent a microphone watch back then?
Hmm. I don't know. Anyway, when after they were got caught, they had to run as fast as they can. While
Yeah,
their
and
Ram Bamboo start chasing them.
yeah, until Dio ran into Godzilla, and this is where the King Kong moment is.
And in the reacting phase, when Akihiko Harada's character turns seeing Godzilla right up the hill, he goes like, "Ho!"
Yeah, and that seems like they're trying to see Godzilla, and then they run off, kind of like in cartoon style, like let's get out of here, no.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
if you've noticed about the familiar shot like that when show Godzilla on the hillside, it's based off the original movie. According to
yeah,
my partner over there, ALP said it.
yeah. That was I was gonna say that scene, that hillside reminds me of the original when Godzilla pops out on the hillside in the original. That's kind
But
of
now
like
in
that.
Ebirah, he just showed up in hill scared of Ram Bamboo, tell them, "Get lost. This is my lady."
Yeah, like don't ever mess with my chick.
And just like what we said before, it was meant for Kong. Now, this is why there's some scene that does not make any sense when Godzilla's staring at a woman.
Yeah, I mean, like Godzilla doesn't pay no attention to uh, to humans, and he's just destroyed and stomps in cities. I mean, he just fights monsters.
Yeah. Until all of a sudden, a giant condor comes out of nowhere when Godzilla's sleeping and Dio's trying to get away, and then she woke him up by getting his attention.
Yeah, and before the giant condor, like that giant bird flew, I mean, like Godzilla just stares at Dio. I mean, he doesn't pick her up.
He was just watching her.
Yeah, yeah,
Until when our characters and I had to go slow, well, not let Godzilla see them.
yeah. I mean, and like when Dio when Dio's like doesn't move, he's just like uh, it's like it's lying on against a rock. I mean, I feel when and then Godzilla starts to sit down like a human being and goes to sleep. For that part, I feel like Godzilla is like copying Dio.
Anyway, when a condor shows up, but fun fact, this giant condor was actually modified one of Rodan's flying puppet that was used.
That's right.
And then later, the one of Rodan's flying puppet will later be used for Super Eye Productions along with a Mosul Goji suit for Ultra Q.
Yep, and also they also have another giant bird in one of the King Kong show. Like
Yes, it was also a giant condor because it was a homage to it. According to Shinichi Sasagawa, said the giant condor was paying homage to the pteranodon in the original King Kong.
that's right, and
And that part when Godzilla faced a condor was kind of a little bit worst fight ever because Godzilla can't even see what's going on.
yeah, he's just. I feel like he just moved his arms like a. It was like doing this.
Until then he breathes the atomic breath out of Condor and have a chicken wings in the morning.
and they actually use a Godzilla puppet in that for only a second. I mean, I think this is like the last time they actually use a Godzilla puppet in this film.
Like this part here?
And yeah, I don't know if I don't know if they use. I think it was a suit they used for that part. I mean, when he's doing a nose scratch after he defeats the Condor.
Until as when Godzilla is about to go sit down again, till the squadron of planes comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and also before that, Dio's like amazed that she feels like Godzilla rescue her. I mean, and then he sits down and is when he sits down, I mean, I feel he's like, now where were we? And then the planes come in and I feel like they just ruined the moment. It's like,
Yeah.
oh come on, can't you let me chat with my lady?
And while Godzilla was occupied to fight against the planes, Dio managed to meet up with the heroes when they're going to get her out of there and run as fast as they can.
Yeah, and also the music of the scene, I also jammed for that part too.
And well,
like,
in the TV version, you don't hear the music. It's just Godzilla's roar and jets noise.
Yeah, and that's music is. Yeah, I love that music part too. It was like gives a little surfing theme to it.
Yeah. Follow after Godzilla attacked the planes, and then he started to attack the base, as he has now had enough and ran bamboo.
Yeah, and what I heard, I think they filmed this last because of the Godzilla's head. It was almost like it's almost damaged.
Yes, it's because of his suit was on water, and it's slowly destroying it.
Yeah.
If you notice the way that Godzilla kept doing this.
Yeah, it looks terrible and
kind of like this way.
Yeah,
and if you know there, look closely at a close-up shot where you can see Godzilla's eyes moving and before he's ready to attack.
Yeah, and also there were some scenes that Godzilla's eyes look a little bigger, and one scene, I mean, kind of reminds me a little bit the one from Pee Wee's Big Adventure of when Pee Wee went through the Warner Brothers studio and when they're filming Godzilla fighting King Ghidorah. Kind of reminds me of that suit.
And in follow after attack the base, the Ren Bamboo realized they can't win the situation. They had to prepare to arm nuclear bombs to explode the island.
Yeah, and they evacuate the island,
and before this happened, Nita and the Infant Island slave are deciding to make a phony yellow liquid to trick them.
Yeah. Everyone, throw that yellow liquid away, and we'll make a big batch of phony liquid. You see? We had to use our brains, you get it?
Yeah, and they use the leaves and then make a mist.
Yep. And I was to say, how would they use leaves to make phony yellow liquid? I don't
Well,
get that.
well, there was a leaves when there's some guys who had to get some seed out so they can make a juice for liquid
Yeah.
for all the different stuff. And when the Ram Bamboo guys comes in to take the barrel, Nita said that, "Hey, what's going on up there?"
Like, shut up!
Yep. And then when they take the barrel, Yoshimura, well, before this going on, Yato ran off to decide how to help the others, and Yoshimura follows him in angry, like, "Why that idiot?"
Yeah. Yeah, he was like such in a hurry to save the natives, and
Yeah.
they
when
had
they
to,
finish, go ahead, bro.
and they had to, after they escape, they make a large net for Mothra for them to carry.
Yeah. And then when Ishino was asking Nita what's going on, that he said, "We got to hurry because the island's about to blow up."
Yeah, so that's why they all run away.
So they gotta wait in the boat. That's right. Serves them right.
What's wrong?
They're using phony yellow liquid. But anyway, before that they had to escape, when the nuclear bomb activated, when Godzilla stepped into one of the building and got the guy down, and he revealed about how much time the bomb will explode. Only takes 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah. I also like when Ebirah appears, and then and I wonder because of the phony yellow liquid, and they decide to use it all, but Ebirah destroys them for good.
Yeah. Even I like that some guys are said, "Ebirah!"
Yellow liquid, use it all.
And that was the last time you ever seen Akihiko Harada's character and Jun Sasaki in this one before they all got killed by Ebirah.
Yeah,
And the other captain was played by Easton Amamoto, who later portrays the toy maker in All Monsters Attack.
yeah, yeah. And that one thing when they first arrived, when they brought the natives to their
Yes,
island, and
yes.
yeah,
When Harada said, "Thank you, Captain."
yeah, our commander, we gotta conquer your order.
Anyway, as Godzilla and Ebirah confront each other one last time for their second round, and they are going in the water to get ready to fight. And this is only the first time in history that Godzilla fights the monster in underwater.
Yeah, I mean they haven't filmed Godzilla underwater since the original.
Yeah. And while during the scene when Godzilla is going to pull Ebirah's claws out, you can see Haru Nekojima's forehead on the heads of the neck.
Yeah, because you could tell that the little holes in there.
Yes, that's how Haru Nekojima can see and breathe while they're working on the suit.
Yeah, that's kind of like in Mothra versus Godzilla, and for the scene where the Mothra larvas find Godzilla and they want to
Oh
bit his
yeah,
tail.
right after one of them bit his tail, then you can see Nekojima's head.
Yeah.
Good eye, bro.
Yep.
Anyway, after Godzilla defeats Ebirah, he plays one of the claw like,
And
"Bye bye, shrimp head."
yeah, he did this. Yeah,
And then Mothra finally wakes up and heads to the island. And like I said, it's actually the same puppet from Mothra's Godzilla as the same Mothra who's now grown up from Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, and no longer is a larvae.
yeah. I mean, and Godzilla just comes ashore, and I bet Godzilla didn't recognize Mothra.
As you see, why? Because that is meant where King Kong first met Mothra in the story.
Yeah, that was meant to be. I mean, King Kong wouldn't know who Mothra is.
Yeah, and before Mothra confronts against Godzilla, you can see the cigarette attached on Mothra's fur.
Oh
If you
yeah,
look closely.
yeah. When I first discovered it, I was like, what is Mothra smoking now?
Well, I think that one of the staff of Toho accidentally put it there before they had to get ready to shoot the movie.
Yeah, I bet that was a mistake.
Yeah, it's an error mistake.
Yeah, I was saying I don't smoke.
Well, before Mothra showed up, when our hero could not get a reach of the bomb because it kept dropping.
Yeah, because of all the villain collapse and then because from Godzilla.
Yeah. And after Mothra managed to knock Godzilla down, then she turned around and grabbed the net
Yep, and
and got out of the island in time.
yep, and that's right. And I don't know. Listen, when they were like they actually attached the net to Mothra's claws, and I mean, when I look carefully, I thought Mothra was only uh, carrying like the. I mean, she only used two claws. There were like two strings attached to the net, and Mothra just used the two claws to it's like to carry the whole basket. I mean,
Yeah. And afterward, when some of our heroes had to tell Godzilla to get out of the island before it exploded.
yeah, and also Dio kind of felt sorry for Godzilla.
Yeah.
I when she said that, I felt like because of that scene when Godzilla bumped into Dio, and actually he rescued her from that giant condor.
Yeah. And anyway, and then when Godzilla decided had to get ready to jump, then you can hear a long beeping noise in the background as well.
Yeah,
You know that bomb's ready to explode in a moment.
yeah, that beeping sound like kind of annoys me a little bit.
Yeah. It was worse than that Lady Guard noise.
Yeah,
And when Godzilla finally jumped out in the water to escape the island before it exploded.
yeah, and when the button finally draws an explosion, I mean, first let me tell you, I mean, before they you see the full explosion on the island, I mean, after the button draws, I mean, in the crit- in the Kraken Blu-ray version, it in the it just fades the black a second, and then in the Criterion Blu-ray version of the original Japanese cut, it was after the button drops, you see like a little fade a fades green to it.
Ooh, yeah. This is a compare difference between what color they use it for shot like that for depends on for whatever versions in the country.
Yeah, I just noticed it when after I watched the Criterion version.
Not only Kraken has to use a black fade like that, it was also on TriStar DVD as well.
Yeah, and
And when the island finally exploded, and then heroes were discussed about something, right after Yoshimura said, "Well, that island's gone forever."
yeah. I
Take it away
wonder
what he said about what the character said,
I
what
wonder if
Ichiro
that's
said.
the end. The red bamboo might still come back again.
Now you sound like a stupid politician. Well, anyway, I think I better go on straight from now on.
And when he says that, I feel like he I when he said that, I feel like he learned a lesson after he done all that uh, Robin, all that burglaring and
Robbery.
robbering. And I feel like when he was with the gang for like a week or day on the islands and they escape, I feel like he changed and he learned a lesson. And he become like a good guy.
Yeah. And then after all that laugh, Roto saw Godzilla swim, and
Yeah,
Dio said he did escape.
and then in the far distance, you can see like a little Godzilla's back fin. It's like a
And then
far distance.
we cut to scene when the island still exploding was after it sunk.
Yeah, I gotta say the special effects of the island exploded. I mean, I don't know how they do that effect.
Well, anyway, even while Eiji Tsuraiya's name was in credit as a director of special effects, it's actually done by other guy who worked with him for all these years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But I heard in Toho Studios they used some explosion special effects when they made like those little atom bomb clouds. I mean, I think they made those special effects clowns. I mean, they actually dropped some like white paint in water,
Hmm.
but they turned the camera upside down. I mean, I think that's what I heard.
Hmm. I think you might have a good point. Anyway, we cut to the final shot of the movie where Mothra does not carry the net. I think that's an error mistake here.
Yeah, but it's like an animation. Yeah, Mothra there. It goes like to Infant Island, and that's the end of the film. I mean, and I said and I keep saying this, it's one of my favorite Godzilla films of all time from the Shona era film.
And this is my first time I got into Godzilla fan is all thanks for this and my late grandmother.
Yeah, the reason I love this film because I've always I know I always focus on the monster fights, and this one I kind of more focus on the human characters because the adventures and all the and I keep staring at the background of the jungle theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Anyway, before ALP will conclude this podcast, we'll have to ask for a few more things we need to say before we can go.
yeah, I mean, there's a few things I say. I mean, was and also for the television version. I mean, they also um, they did a Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode of the television version of that film.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love Mystery Science Theater 3000. I mean, I only I only watched the Gamera versions of them.
you know what's my favorite character in that show of that you like?
What?
Kroll.
Oh yeah, I, I was yeah. I didn't know that Mystery Science Theater 3000 did an episode of that. I mean, I was also my favorite part was when the Tom and Crow were dressed up as the Mothra fairies, and there's just. Do you remember that part?
Yeah, I saw that all over YouTube.
Yeah, and you know, Kaiju bro, we should give that a try someday.
Uh, I don't know about that. Otherwise, people might think we're copycats of the three Mystery Science Theater.
And also, I like the part when Mothra shows up, and then
But it was actually a guy do the voice.
yeah, it's like
But
you,
why not use a woman to do the voice of Mothra? Mothra is a girl, not a guy.
yeah, and yeah,
Especially if you counted Mothra's son, Mothra Leo, in the Rebirth Mothra trilogies in the Heisei trilogy.
yeah, and I gotta watch that episode someday if I can find it somewhere on stream.
Anyway, as I want to say, I kind of prefer the international uncut version better than the TV version. It's just way more entertainment.
I agree with you too, and I don't know. I watched both versions and the original Japanese cut on the Criterion version.
And let's talk about our opinion about Masaru Sato's score. ALP, what's your opinion about Masaru Sato's score in the film?
I mean, I love the music in that. I mean, it's because the reason why I love listen to the soundtrack of this. I mean, it's because it's so much different than the the original guy who did the original score for Godzilla.
Akira Ifukube.
Yeah,
And for my opinion, for Masaru Sato's score, it is really good. Even it has some music that almost sounds like James Bond. Even there's one thing that I forgot to mention during the second round of Godzilla and Ebirah. There's one of the music and it almost sounds like Batman in 1966 intro theme.
oh yeah, the Batman theme. That kind of does sounds like it a little bit.
Yeah, this is why they should call Bat James Zilla. Well, if only, you know.
Yeah, if only.
And I kind of prefer if King Kong vs. Ebirah ship made, but what if MonsterVerse can use the idea of that if we might see Kong to face against Ebirah in MonsterVerse? What do you
Yeah.
think of that?
Oh my god, yes. I mean, like they already come up with the MonsterVerse series TV series on Apple TV. I mean, if they do bring Kong back, I mean, like they should bring Ebirah. That way we can finally see Kong fighting Ebirah to see what that would be like.
And even if he first met Mothra, if for movie project or so,
Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. But they already brought back Ebirah in Godzilla Final Wars.
yeah. And let's say, before Jim Fukuda was direct this movie, he was assistant director in the original Rodan with Ishiro Honda.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, according to Jim Fukuda, he's not a big fan of monster movie as he hates directing the Godzilla series as he's prefer a crime movie only.
Oh.
And Also, in the Japanese title for the film, it was called Godzilla, Ebirah, Mothra, Big Dude in the South Seas.
Yeah, that's what the original Japanese title is.
And the little fun fact, the name of Big Dude in the South Seas is actually based off that one of Jun Fukuda's movie that was never happened. It was supposed to be a sequel to Iron Finger movie, Iron Finger Big Dude in the South Seas.
Mm.
That Iron Finger movie was starred with Akira Takarada, was Jun Fukuda the director of the film.
Ah, oh wow, it's been an hour and 15 minutes.
Well, I gave this movie about 7 out of 10
Yep.
for the uncut version, and the US TV version about 4 out of 10.
I mean, the TV version it was okay. I mean, I give the I give both the international dub and the original Japanese cut a 10 out of 10 because it is one of my favorite Godzilla films of all time.
And your rating version of the US TV one?
Yep. I mean, they could have done a better job of that one. I mean, they could have released that one in theaters instead.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and before that, I want to let you guys know I did not lose my eye. I was just wearing an eye patch, so my eyes is fine, guys. I just want to pay the tribute to my favorite actor, Akihiko Harada.
Yep. So I guess that all wraps it up. Until next time. Next up, Son of Godzilla from 1967.
And I will always be there in a comment chat to share my knowledge for all the other episodes till I will make a comeback again. And
That's
I'm
right,
always
bro.
here for ALP if he needs me for his backup, because I'm
Yep.
his backup plan.
And I always be with you, bro. So, well, that wraps it up. I'm gonna relax and join the beach, even though I'm indoors. I'm gonna join
and enjoy the lobster dinner, people.
Yep, and I'm gonna join my lemonade and read my book.
So stay BG fans as always, guys.